What's up, Crusaders? Welcome back to another episode of Arcade Crusade. In this week's video, we are going to be looking at a new pickup. I took the money that we got from selling the Roadshow and I picked up a game I've been wanting for a really long time. It's not the deepest game, but it's a ton of fun. I'm a big fan of the theme. I like the gameplay of it. It's good for my lineup. Just with the games that I have, I got some brutal games, I got some long playing games, and this kind of falls right in the middle that it's easily approachable for everyone that plays it. So I took the money from the Roadshow and I was able to actually save some, and I got a 1994 Bally World Cup Soccer. So let's take a look at this thing. So this game is fully LED'd, except I don't think anyone did the start button, so we're going to have to do that, and I doubt they did the extra ball button, but I have extra balls turned off. Original flipper buttons on here, so we got yellow and red for the MagnaSave. I'm going to change the MagnaSave button to purple to fit the cabinet better. Everywhere I found, I couldn't find anyone selling a teal flipper button because it would be cool to do teal and purple just to match the cabinet. Couldn't really find anyone. Cabinet decals are in really good shape except for the front, and actually this game came with a entire set of new decals, so if I decide this is a keeper, we can bring this one out to the garage, tear it completely down, sand it down, clean it up, put new decals on it. Original legs in good shape. It's got new leg levelers and bolts. It has a World Cup 2014 shooter rod, and the shooter rod's been rebuilt, which you guys know I always like to do. It has NVRAM installed. Original DMD, doesn't have a color. I'm fine with that because all of my games have original DMDs except for Lord of the Rings, but I'm going to get one for Twilight Zone eventually, so we'll get there. What else? It has Cliffies at all the holes and saucers, so the goal has one, striker has one, TV award scoop has one. All three saucers have them. So this game has all Cliffies. It's been fully LED'd except for a couple spots. I don't think anyone ever changed the inserts for striker. That build lock looks a little dim to me unless they put a warm white in there. But I'm going to put a cool white in there. But yeah, everything has been swapped out and LED'd. One thing to take note of, somebody put a Stern flipper bat and not a Williams flipper bat on the left flipper. I actually have a white Williams on hand, so I'm going to change that eventually. I'll probably do it, tomorrow or the next day. We're going to drop that in and put a new one in there. Ramps are in pretty good shape, and if you know anything about this game, I don't know if anyone's reproduced them, but the ramps are usually pretty hard to find. I've had it for a few days now, and there are a few things I've already had to fix up on it. Actually, pretty surprising. I've had to fix, a decent amount of things. Decent amount of stuff on this. One thing to note that I fixed is right here. This protector right here, this metal ramp protector. This one was missing. And what I did is I found a 1-inch L bracket that Marco sells, and I took the protector that was up at this one, and I drilled a hole and put the 1-inch L bracket up here, and then I put the original L bracket down here, so that way this ramp and this ramp have the same metal protector and they match. And these things are unobtainium. The only two games that use these that I know of are World Cup Soccer and NBA Fast Break. They might be another game from 94, 95 that used them, but that is all I know. Somebody put the wrong screws down here out of the coin toss. I put some flathead countersunk screws in there. They had a cap head on there and the ball would get stuck, so I fixed that. The ramp connector here was missing two of the 440 quarter-inch screws. I got those and fixed that. When I got it, the switch for the right ramp exit and the right ramp exit up there, they weren't working. So I knew it was very unlikely for both of those switches to go bad. Somebody mixed up a connector under the playfield in the back corner. So we had to fix that. I had to fix a lot of stuff on this thing. Within 2 days of having it, the diode on the goalie switch broke, and I got a credit dot. Luckily I keep diodes on hand, so that was a quick fix. But I did have to take the whole goalie apart in order to fix that. The first night I had it, I was getting a trough 1 and trough 2 error, and there was cold solder joint. If you know anything about WPCS and WPC95 games, they use a trough system with optos. So I took both opto boards out from the trough because there's one on each side, the sender and the receiver for the opto, and I reflowed both boards, dropped those back in. It was fixed. I'm trying to think what else. I feel like there's a couple other things I fixed on this, but yeah, there's a ton of stuff that I fixed on this already. But there was a broken wire at this flasher here, so we had to solder that and fix that up. We've had to fix a lot of stuff. Also, this flipper, the right flipper was rebuilt, the left one was fully rebuilt, but nobody swapped the end of stroke switch. So we're going to be putting a new end of stroke switch on that. So when I swap the flipper out, I'm gonna swap that over. Yeah, just little annoying stuff like that. I noticed that stuff. Not everyone would notice it, but when you shopped out, I've done full shop outs and I think like 10 pins now, which, I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot, but that's a lot of time I spent tearing down, and mostly all of them have been Bally Williams games. I haven't done a shop out on Lord of the Rings, and that will be my first Stern shop out, but all my shop outs have been on Bally Williams DMD games and, a few System 11s, and, one System 6, I had a Gorgar, but I'm super familiar with Bally Williams stuff, and I can fix it super easily. But, it's little stuff. And if, I bought this game in pretty good condition, and if a first-time buyer got this, they would be pretty upset. If you took a game home that you bought off someone and you had 2 trough issues, the goalie target broke on you, I mean, I don't even know how the guy was playing it without the ramps working, because basically he was never building his lock on the left ramp. It would be impossible. So you would have to shoot the right ramp, the striker hole, and the spinner in order to build your lock to start multi-ball, which makes the game so much harder. And also, you light your jackpots, buy your tickets, and get ultra ramps on your left ramp, and you're not able to play half the game without that working. So I don't know. This guy had it for months, and I have a feeling it wasn't working the whole time, and he had no idea that his ramp switches were mixed up. So I fixed that right away because I noticed that my ramps weren't registering, because I've played this game on location many times, and I'm hitting it, and I'm like, okay, the jackpot isn't lighting. It's not building my lock. Why is it doing that? So, like I said, it came with a brand new set of cabinet decals, so if I decide to put those on, I'll go ahead and do it. Came with a whole extra set of plastics. It came with the manual. NV RAM and socket was already done. U20 on the CPU board was already socketed. I ordered a little striker figure that we're going to put on top of there. I know a lot of people don't like Striker because they think he's childish, but I think he's a cool mascot. So I got a little figure we're going to put up there. I've seen a lot of people on Pinside spray soccer ball stencils on their speaker grills, and after spraying the Cubert coin door and the track and field coin door with a stencil, I think I'm going to try to make my own soccer ball stencils the same way other people have, and we'll spray those on. But, I mean, this game doesn't need much aside from that flipper. I already cleaned everything else up, any other issues it was having. Playfield's in great shape. I mean, it's got some saucer wear, but those are protected by the Cliffies and everything. So, I mean, I really can't complain. There's a few ghosting LEDs. I might put some non-ghosting in. They just get a little too much voltage and flicker a little bit. But yeah, I mean, really all I got to do is I just want to go through and tighten up the ramps and swap that flipper out And yeah, but I mean, this thing is pretty much ready to go. I've been playing it a ton. I had some friends over who helped me move it down here, and we played it for a while. So I got the tripod set up here, and we can play a game. All right, that should be decent enough to see the play field and the DMD. So on World Cup Soccer, we'll start it. This game has call-outs by Tim Kitzrow, the guy that did NBA Jam, all the call-outs from NBA Jam. Plenty of pinball machines. He did Attack from Mars. Plenty of Midway, Bally Midway games. The skill shot on this game, actually, before I get into that, game was designed by John Papaduke. It's got a lot of his signatures in it. It was the first game that he designed. Software by Larry DeMar, art by Kevin O'Connor. Just an overall good game, nothing crazy deep. It's got a MagnaSave on it, 3 saucers, 2 scoops, a goalie on a motor, a soccer ball on a motor. I mean, this thing is decked out when it comes to features, and the only issues people have with this game are the rules. But I think if you have larger than a 2-pin lineup, this game is amazing. If this was your only game, you'd get sick of it, definitely. But if you have more than 2 pins, this is a great third. And if you have more than that, this is just great to add to any lineup because it's good for everyone. The skill shot on this game, on the right side, it's the coin toss. 3 bulbs here blinking. As the game progresses, you're just trying to hit each blinking bulb to get your coin toss. So first ball, doesn't matter. Off the start, goal is lit, so it's good. Good to go for goal if you can. And this has Theater of Magic and Tales of the Arabian Nights-esque ramps where if you don't make it all the way around the ramp, they punish you and they drop the ball out. You're in rollovers on this game. So up here, we got a shot out of the saucer for our penalty kick. Like I was saying, the in lanes buy you a ticket so you can travel cities. First TV award is big goal round. On this game, you can dead flip over to the right flipper like this, and you're just trying to get a little too early. You're trying to get 3 goals before time runs out. If I could shoot. Okay, let's take the assist. All right, we got 11 seconds to get 2 more goals. Hopefully we can do it. Man, I'm just hitting the goalie. Sometimes this happens. This goalie's killing me, man. Ultra goalie. All right, no time on big roll ground. We'll let it time out, and we need 1 more lock to build our lock. You got to get 5. It's strength, stamina, skill, spirit, and speed. You got to get all 5 to light your lock. We have ultra spinner lit. So in this case, we're best trying to go rip that spinner, and I whiff it. We'll get the ball out of there. We'll hit the right ramp to build our lock, and we're in good shape. All right, ball's in our saucer. We'll rip the spinner. All right, let's try to... Nope. I was going to say let's try to get control here and lock this ball up, but it's fine. We're not in bad shape. We just need to get our tickets going. So there's our second coin toss. Ball's bouncing around. We'll use our MagnaSave just to show it off. It's actually useful if you hold the flipper up. The left ramp is backhandable on this game. So backhand it like that. Ball hits the magnet, drops down. To start multi-ball, you want to shoot the final draw scoop, which is that weird scoop below the spinning soccer ball. Our coin toss, the third lightest hit, so we want to give it a hard plunge, just like that. And light our tickets. And we're just going to try to get control here. Okay, we got control. We'll try to forehand final draw, even though it's dangerous. And we just whiffed. and out the out lane we go. All right, let's do this again. There we go. We got control. Let's try to backhand this. Scoop. Nope. All right, forehand it. There we go. Into final draw. All right, so kicks another ball out for us to start multi-ball. Multi-ball on this game, shoot the goal, that's your jackpot. To relight your jackpot, shoot the ramps, either ramp. A hidden thing in this game is if you hit the extra ball button, it'll give you a free light jackpot. So I like to use that early to not mess around, just to get me further. So we start at number 10 Austria, you're trying to get to number 1 Germany, and that's where the big points come. So we'll try to plunge here and we'll start our multi-ball. There we go, couple goals. So I pressed the extra ball button and lit it. I hit the left ramp to relight our jackpot. There's another jackpot. Save that shot. All right, and just like that, multi-ball is over. We have travel lit, Boston Tea Party. That soccer ball sends it flying out of control. And there's Striker drinking a bunch of tea. But yeah, I mean, basically the gist, I was hoping we could get a little bit further. Maybe I could even get to the World Cup, because I've actually gotten to it like 3 times now. And I beat multi-ball a couple times, and I've only had this game for a few days. That doesn't bother me though, because it's still really fun. Even when you get to the World Cup final, it's a ton of fun. I don't care. And I got the out lanes set wide open. This thing is pitched at like 7.5. I mean, it's set up a lot steeper than most of my other games. I purposely set it up hard, I turned off the extra ball button. I purposely set it up hard so that you don't always have a great game on it. So it's satisfying when you do have a good game. But yeah, no, that's the basics, how to get into multi-ball. You want to buy your tickets and shoot the spinner to travel. And then you just want to advance all the way to Los Angeles, and you want to beat multi-ball. And then the only other thing we're not covering is you get random striker awards at the striker hole, and you get a TV award, which is how we started Big Goal Around, at the TV award scoop. There's 4 TV awards, and then it's I think unlimited striker awards. The way you get striker lit is you got to hit the targets. I don't know, super fun game. One of my favorites, and I think it works well when people that aren't really pinball people come over. And 3 flipper, 4 flipper games are not good for people that don't know pinball. They simply, people don't understand you got to plunge to the upper playfield on Whitewater. People don't understand the camera shot on Twilight Zone. People never hit the side ramp on Whirlwind. So then it kind of leaves me with World Cup Soccer and Lord of the Rings to be the more approachable games. And Lord of the Rings is set up pretty brutal too. So this is like the best baby pinball game where it's just, these are the rules. This is how you play. Just have fun with it. And dude, I love it, honestly. And my wall, starts right there, and it goes all the way along until right here where I got this little baby 1-up. I got this for $50 at Walmart on clearance a couple of years ago when they came out, and they were closing them out. And I put a good spinner. This one has ball bearings in it, and I put a good spinner on this. So it's actually pretty fun to play Tempest, but if I get rid of this, I can fit a 6-pin on this wall, and I'm thinking either Fishtail, Star Trek Next Generation, or Taxi. Yeah, but I mean, this is a crazy lineup, especially with all of them turned on. I don't have all of them. I only turn them on if everyone's coming over to play. Otherwise, I don't see really necessary. Another update, got the Run DMD hung above the window up there, so between both of my neons, it'll look awesome. I want to get a bare playfield from one of my favorite games and like light it up with lights behind it and move the Nintendo Neon over and hang a playfield can fit perfectly right here. I really want to hang one there. Arcade games are going to have to start getting shifted around as I'm starting to run out of space down here because track and field has to come down and then we're almost like out of space. But I still got to film a video on an entire arcade tour and kind of give the history of how I got all these games and how much work I had to do and how much I got them for and things like that. But yeah, this was just another pickup video. I sold, full transparency, I sold the Roadshow for $4,000, and that thing was in beautiful shape. I don't know if I'll ever come across a game of that era in that good of shape ever again. It was just so nice, but it just, the theme wasn't good for me. I don't like the rules and the fact that you can't stack any of the modes. It's so infuriating when you're trying to build towards multi-ball and you start a mode and you have to play the mode, maybe drain or time it out. It's just, and the modes are linear unless you get that guy's code to change it. It's just, Roadshow wasn't the game for me. So I sold Roadshow for $4,000 and I paid $3,300 for this with the extra plastics, the decals, Cliffies, LEDs, NVRAM, everything that was done to this game. I paid $33,000. And I have no doubt if I go to sell it, I could get 35, honestly. If not, more based on how much this thing goes up. So we have a pretty good lineup now. And, I always want to add something new because, this hobby is an addiction. We all know. So you keep wanting to add, get different variety in your lineup. And once you start getting into, 4+ pins, you're really thinking about how the games you get complement your other games. And that's the biggest thing with this is it's such a change of pace from everything else. It was just, it made sense for me to get it. And every time I've played it on location, I've had a ton of fun playing it. And, World Cup Finals fun. I love the Tim Kitzrow call-outs. I like the color scheme of the game. It's like cheesy 90s. It's pretty funny. But yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with it. And I mean, we're almost running out of pin space down here. And I also need to check how many amps we're pulling at the breaker. I'm going to film a video on that. I'm going to show you guys how to check how many amps your games are pulling at the breaker to make sure you don't overload the circuits in your house. Because I have 3 different circuits down here. So this wall is on one circuit. Starting there and wrapping all the way around is on another. And then the far wall where I have the Simpsons now is with the back bedrooms back here. That's a 3rd circuit. So if I split everything right, I should never run out of power down here. There's no possible way. The square footage I have, the amount of games I could fit, I can't run out of power as long as I do things right. Because essentially what I would do is that I would take Whirlwind and Twilight Zone and put them on this circuit, and then if I ended up having 4 pins, I'd plug them into this circuit, and then the circuit behind me would get plugged into where Simpsons is at, and we would just kind of split things evenly amongst, so you're not running your wires too hot in your house. But we'll get into that in a different episode. This was just the World Cup Soccer episode. Also, yeah, somebody put a new soccer ball on this. That's a new one. I think that's the one from Marcos. It can use a little bit of a cleaning out. I'll probably clean it up a little bit, but full Titans too. It's got the purple Titans, and then for the flippers, and white Titans everywhere else. And actually, I like white on this game. Almost better than clear, especially with the teal posts, and they put purple sleeves on it. So I don't really mind white, and it's got the soccer ball Target decals. I mean, this thing is decked out now. I'm pretty happy with it. So that yeah, that's pretty much it. Just another new pickup. We took the Roadshow money and did that. Hopefully I can find another project, and then whether or not we keep it, it just continues to let us expand and film more videos and play more games. And that's really what all this is all about. So that pretty much wraps up this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the little tutorial on World Cup Soccer and me kind of running you through what I went through like day one with this thing, just what I had to fix, just things to watch out for on these games. It can happen. You buy, this is why, a lot of new people in the hobby, they stay away from buying 90s games is because they can be pretty error prone. And, you know, for someone like me who knows these games inside and out, I'll rip it apart day one and fix whatever has to be fixed. But if you're a new pinball owner, and you're afraid of the soldering iron, I mean, this stuff is not fun to mess with, especially when you shell out $3,000 on a game and it breaks day one, or you notice the ramps aren't working when you get home. So always be thorough when you look at a game. Anytime you look at, no matter what condition the seller says it's in, go into the switch matrix, go into switch test, and just test everything. Be thorough. Look if any connectors don't look to be plugged in right. Look for any broken wires. Take your time, because you don't want to have buyer's remorse. But I mean, that's why a lot of new people in the hobby like to buy new in-box games. I don't, because I just don't think new Sterns have the same charm that the Bally Williams 90s games have. Those games just have, they have a fourth dimension to them that really just make them stand out to me. I can't even really explain it. Other people that collect Bally Williams games can agree with me that they feel it. When they play a Stern, it just feels hollow. And obviously the exception to that is Lord of the Rings and Simpsons Pinball Party. Those two, I really think they hit out of the park with the theme, and they really did them justice, and they have that charm. But I don't think, Stern has really made a game that's jumped out to me in a long time. And I will say that the Keith Elwin games are very good. Layout-wise, rule-wise, they're good, but I just don't care about Iron Maiden or Jurassic Park as a theme for me to want those. But that's a conversation for another day. But yeah, new pickup, World Cup Soccer. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one.